Regarding to QID cancelled your legal rights. Yeah, when you look at the QID being cancelled in Qatar, there are what you call legal rights. As you, the employee, you have your rights. What should you do next after the QID is cancelled? First of all, something let us try to understand. What is a QID cancellation? QID cancellation meaning your residence permit. Thank you so much for coming back. Yes, someone was asking me another question regarding to QID cancelled your legal rights. Yeah, when you look at the QID being cancelled in Qatar, there are what you call legal rights. As you, the employee, you have your rights. What should you do next after the QID is cancelled? First of all, something let us try to understand. What is a QID cancellation? QID cancellation meaning your residence permit is cancelled. Yes, by the way, something that I need to let you know, living in Qatar without an ID, it's illegal. And definitely most of you will agree with me, it's a very difficult situation living in Qatar without an ID, because you'll never be on run and run in any way. However, once your QID is cancelled in Qatar, what are your entitlements or what are the legal rights that definitely you need to understand? Yes, first of all, before we look at your legal entitlements, why may the QID be cancelled, or under what circumstances may the QID be cancelled? Yes, it cancels. The employer may cancel what you call your work visa, then your QID will be cancelled. Yes, when the contract has ended, they were not renewed, then the QID will be cancelled. Then when you resign in the company and the grace period has surpassed, then probably your QID will be cancelled. The company has been closed or blacklisted, then your QID will be cancelled. But what are your legal rights? I think what are your legal rights even if when the QID is cancelled? First of all, when your QID is cancelled, you have a grace period of what you call 30 days for you to be in the country. In these 30 days, you can be able to transfer, change your sponsorship, you can exit the country voluntarily, or you can settle your dues and file complaints in case it is needed in that regard. Then two, you have a right to what you call transfer sponsorship if you are eligible. However, something that you need to understand, changing transfer or changing sponsorship, you must have completed in what you call 1 year. Short of that, you can opt for another option, which is a 6-month contract, which is a secondment contract in any way. However, also still you need to understand that you can change sponsorship even if after your QID is cancelled, but within what you call the grace period that is being given to you. However, still something that I need to let you know, always use what you call the metrash. It's always very important. It can give you all those important details, and you can be able every time to check the status of your ID in case you cannot get any information regarding to what you mobile. Then first of all, still also you need to understand when your QID is cancelled, yes, you have a right to file a labor complaint if you want to claim for your gratuity, unpaid salary, and your flight ticket back to your country. Then also what you need to understand, you have a right to free exit once your QID is cancelled. Yes, you have a right to free exit without even informing what you call your employer in one way or another. However, something that definitely I need to remind you, when your QID is cancelled, avoid overstaying in the country, because it will begin accumulating what we call an overstay, which is 10 real per day. And still more on that, you'll have what you call, in case you are being caught with an overstay, then probably you'll be able, or sometimes to a bad day, you may get what you call a travel ban and not returning back in the country. Then when you look at your QID being cancelled, also you have a right to get what you call your final settlement. When we talk about final settlement, we are talking about the gratuity, or we are talking about the end of service bonus. You have to be paid your gratuity, unpaid salary, vacation balance, and also given what you call your flight ticket to go back to your country in that regard. I hope I've tried to share something for a person who was asking me regarding to what you call my rights when it comes to a QID when it's cancelled in Qatar according to the